Welcome to another week, another show of Hawkeyed with me, Dave O'Hara. Here we are again, right here, Carver Hawkeye Arena, the Big Ten conference room. Lisa Bluder joining us for this show. Lisa, I was just telling you off the air as we record this on Wednesday afternoon, December 20th. A year ago today, you and I and Caitlin Clark and Monica Sonano and my production partner Michael Merrick and Bailey Turner, your SID, we were all in this room a year ago recording.
Yeah.
So my easy, basic first question to you today is, what's happened in your life the last year? What's changed? What's different?
Yeah, things have changed quite a bit since
just
that time. We've won a Big Ten tournament championship, obviously making it to the championship game and, being a historic event for our program that we've never made it there before. And, certainly we would have enjoyed winning. Who wouldn't? I feel like our team did a great job representing this university in our great state, and just really proud of the way they conducted themselves and handled themselves in that situation. But yeah, since we've been home, it's been a little bit of a whirlwind. Obviously, Caitlin was named Player of the Year nationally, and just was recently named Co-Sportswoman of the Year. That's all sports, all women across the country. That's amazing accomplishment. So a lot has changed, including sellouts and that sort of thing.
Caitlin just seems to be wired differently than any other player I've ever seen or been around for a number of years. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I do think she's wired differently. I mean, she's such a competitor. She loves the game. She's really good at it, and she knows she's really good at it. She loves to, show off her skill. And, the event at the crossover was really special. I had an inward goal of I was hoping that 50,000 people would show up. And, our administration came to us and they go, are you going to be disappointed if only 20 show up? And I said, no, I'm not going to be disappointed, but I really believe in the Hawkeye fans. And they came through. 56,000 people came out for that game. Most spectacular photographs, little girls screaming, adults crying. I thought it was such an empowering event for women as we broke the attendance record for women's basketball. But I just really feel like it was a great event to celebrate where our sport has come.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Caitlin going back to Des Moines last week and playing in Wells Fargo, she performed pretty well there. She was 1-3 going into that, and she in her college career she's 1-0. So had a great night, and again that was almost felt like a NCAA tournament type of atmosphere.
Right.
It was very electric. We were playing in a different arena, a semi-pro arena, and it felt electric. And I'm really glad that some of the people that don't get to see us play in Carver now because it being sold out got to see us play there.
Well, you're way too humble to say it, so I'm going to say it for you. I'm not going to gloss over all your accomplishments. We did that last year, and Michael and I were joking we could almost do a whole show on your accomplishments. But from everything we mentioned last year, and again, you are Iowa's all-time winner, lead over C. Vivian Stringer, a person you were very close to, as you mentioned too. Coming up as a coach, you were able to reach out to her and became very friendly over the years, even coaching against her when she left here to go to Rutgers.
Yeah.
But you also, since we've last talked, got 500 career wins here at Iowa as the head coach. That happened out in Florida. 11-1 this year right now, again, as you go into tomorrow night's game against Loyola Chicago. 11-1, 1-0 in the Big Ten. But congratulations. I know milestones are great. You've had the Coach of the Year honors, and every time you win, it seems like you're passing another milestone. But I didn't want that one to get past us, so congrats on the 500.
Well, I appreciate it. But Jan Jensen and Jenny Fitzgerald have been here for every one of those 500.
That's right.
And they're going to be here later in the
bet.
program.
That's why they're here. That's right.
But that's very special to share that journey with my best friends and people that I admire and I trust. And so it was I was able to have the opportunity to recognize them before one of our games, which they so richly deserved.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And as we're here in the Big Ten conference room, you and I talked about, you signed your contract here.
Yeah.
We're going full circle as you roll back with your eyes. 24 years here now at Iowa after being at Drake and St. Ambrose and being a player at Northern Iowa. So you've got Iowa through and through. And you talked about that where some other universities outside the state of Iowa looked at you back in the day and you thought, oh, heck, I'm an Iowa gal. But what I find interesting about that, and you and Jan and Jenny and I will talk about this, where women's basketball has gone from this day, because I remember you telling me too last year, yeah, Dave, I should have held out for 500 more, or you held out for 500 more, or whatever it was, $500.
Yeah.
And now you see where salaries in women's basketball on the national landscape, not just against men's basketball, but in the national sporting landscape. I cannot wait to talk to Jan and Jenny and you, the three of you, to get your take on this with Caitlin's award yesterday with the Sporting News. I just find it fascinating to see, if you could tell me in your words before we bring Jan and Jenny in here, where the game is today and how just that has to tickle you pink.
Oh, it does, because I was of the generation that got to see it when nobody cared about it. I was of the generation when I played, there was a couple hundred people in the stands, and it was back page, paragraph, box score. I have one videotape of one of my games in college. And so, things have changed a lot, and I'm just so thankful. But, the athletes are better, the coaching is better, the promotion of our sport is better. And since we've gotten TV now, the Big Ten Network and now, ESPN, Fox, and having TV exposure helps show everybody what our game has become.
Yeah.
And when they see it, they're like, oh my, I haven't watched women's basketball in a long time, but it's really good. And it is really good right now. It's played at a very, very high rate. The women are unbelievable athletes and shooters and intelligent basketball players. And so I just think that people didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And now we've been exposed to it, and we're not going backwards. And honestly, I think our team last year just gave people an opportunity to think about something other than what was going on around the country. And we needed something happy, something positive to cheer for. And I think our team became that team.
Absolutely. And you and I talked about that last year, as did Monica and I and Caitlin and I, and what you folks bring to the community. And again, not saying no one else does that, but it is neat to see. And the other thing I find fascinating when you mention it about Caitlin, it's overlooked. She's an incredible passer. And I don't care what men's or women's basketball, I'll put her against anybody from 30, 35 feet out. It's a normal shot for her. It's not like coming from her knees. It's a normal shot. And you were talking about the three-point line earlier. I was going to joke and say, are they going to start making a four-point line for her? Because now, let's be honest, as a coach, and I've asked you this before, I have to ask again just to relive last year. Have you ever come down, has Jan or Jenny, and I'll ask them separately, ever come down with Caitlin, and it was one dribble inside the half court, right? I mean, let's be honest. That wasn't logo. That was dang near a half court three. She took one dribble on Saturday, was there, took it and shot it. I got to believe all three of you collectively and individually said, no, okay, good shot, good shot. True? Have you ever done that with Caitlin?
Oh, I've done that many times with Caitlin. But at this point, I know it's coming, and so now I just, I just smile and shake my head.
What can you do?
I cannot do anything else. But she is like a special player that, and you can just see her joy after she makes that, and she's slapping, high fives to everybody in the front row.
That was great.
They and how much fun did they have? They enjoyed it too.
Well, look how you and I are laughing right now just talking about it. As a coach, you got to be loving it. So for Lisa Bluder, I'm Dave O'Hara on Hawkeye. We'll be back with more in just a few moments. Welcome back to Hawkeye with me, Dave O'Hara. Gary Dolphin, legendary Hawkeye voice of athletics, here for 27 years now, men's basketball and football. So Dolph, as we've talked over the years, on the air, off the air, let's bring it on the air, what you've seen from this football team, we'll spend a little bit more time digging into football. We got up to recent history. Let's go back from the start of the season and how it has progressed throughout the year. Brian Ferentz being let go is going to be able to finish the year out as the offensive coordinator. You add in Cade McNamara going out in the fourth, I believe it was the middle of the fourth game. You got Eric All going down with an injury. Luke Lachey before that with an injury. All guys lost for the year, and now Cooper DeJean done for everything the last couple of games, and now obviously the Big Ten championship game and the bowl game. There's four marquee players right there. To say there's been a lot going on this year, Dolph, would be a major understatement.
Yeah, and the one word label I would give this football team, especially the offense, is resilient.
Yeah.
I mean, we were so excited coming into the year about Cade McNamara, about Eric All, about Rusty Feth, who has really played well on the offensive line for some injured players here of late. And then Luke Lachey, all Big Ten. Cooper DeJean, all American. And you don't have any of those guys. You have Feth, certainly, but Dejon Parker, who was in their two deeps all year but never got to play, a right tackle from a transfer portal pickup from Saginaw Valley. Kirk Ferentz loves the guy, but he's just never healthy enough.
And Noah Shannon with the whole gambling controversy.
I was going to come to that next. Probably your best interior returning lineman, certainly your most veteran and salty. Y.A. Black's had a great year.
Yep.
Noah Shannon, right or wrong, and most people think he was wronged. Not play a down this year in his senior year, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was mind-boggling. The offensive line was a lot of moving parts for 7 or 8 games this season. LeSean Williams, Caleb Johnson, Jazz Patterson all missed significant time. Now all 3 are back healthy, and that gives them a 3-headed monster, in my view, in running the football Saturday. So, steady Eddie defense, steady Eddie special teams. Very few injuries incurred there, thankfully, and led by the guy in the middle, Jay Higgins and Nick Jackson. What a tandem. Think about this. Jackson comes in the spring and summer from Virginia, never met Jay Higgins before in his life, and the 2 guys put together a 200 tackle a season. It's just that might be the story of the year on defense, other than Cooper DeJean just being who he is. And then up front, Ethan Hurkett. I loved Ethan Hurkett his freshman year, Dave.
Yeah.
When he was
Cedar
running,
Rapids kid from Xavier.
Yeah. He's running across the field, ran down a quarterback from behind, and then pulled up lame and injured a knee as he was going out of bounds. Didn't play the rest of the year. And now look at him, and he's got a couple years left. Joe Evans, I don't know if there's anybody I love more on the team than Joe Evans. Walked on, Ames High School, earned a scholarship, and now he's a finalist for the award they give to former walk-ons. I mean, Joe, undersized, but man, does he have sonar, does he have GPS when it comes to getting to the quarterback
Yes,
and getting in the backfield. And Torrey Taylor, he's just amazing.
Yeah.
He dropped 15 pounds in the offseason because he wanted to increase his leg speed. I said, explain that. He goes, well, I knew I'd lose some leg strength, but, I've been – and this is how these guys study their position, because he wants to play in the NFL, and he will play in the NFL. And he said leg speed increases hang time, also improves your accuracy. So I wanted to land it on the numbers more this year, because if you kick it right down the middle, it sets yourself up for a good return. So I wanted to angle toward a sideline, kind of pin the guy on the side. This is how Torrey Taylor thinks.
Yeah.
So again, it's that head coach and his incredible staff who have been together for a long time. Abdul Hodge has been here a couple of years, Liddell. I mean, Kirk always finds the right guys, many of them former players.
Yeah.
They know the Iowa system. They know what kind of players they want. They've been doing it for 25 years, and I mean, who can argue with 22 bowl bids out of 25 seasons?
Yeah, hard to argue with that. Dolph, you've called it all year. You've had a front row seat from the press box. You've seen it all. What a year Jay Higgins has had.
He obviously has the patience of Job.
Yes.
But he also is a quick study. He's a learner. And he's been watching Jack Campbell and Seth Benson and others for the past couple of years. And just to sit there and work hard, go hard, and practice every day, knowing that he's not going to play ahead of Jack Campbell. And he was spelling Seth Benson a lot, and he was getting a lot of time on special teams, and that comes back to the Iowa way. You cut your teeth on special teams, and if you perform well there, you're going to see the field. And so I love the guy. He is one of, wasn't heavily recruited. I think Kirk mentioned he had a couple MAC, Mid-America Conference offers. Tough kid out of Indy. And look at him now. And now he's going to his hometown. How fitting is that?
Yes.
That Jay Higgins gets to play in a Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis. You don't think he'll be stoked? He'll be flying all over that turf on Saturday.
Well, he already said his dad is hitting him up for tickets. So family, friends, coaches.
He doesn't have enough tickets.
No, he didn't have enough. That's for sure. But I'll tell you, Dolph, that's the fun part of this year, is to see guys like Jay Higgins. That's one of many. LeSean Williams, as you and I both talked about it. It's just great to see some of these guys, when they've gotten their opportunity, haven't complained, haven't moaned. They just stepped in when they were ready. And as you said, they bided their time, patience of Job, well stated by you. And then they observed, and then it was time. They hit their mark and ran.
One position group we really haven't talked about is wide receiver. And Deacon's going to have to hit some plays in the passing game, because Michigan will be like everybody else. They're going to overload the tackle box. Hawks will probably go a lot of 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, 1 running back for a few series or quite a few plays to keep Michigan, because they're going to blitz Big Deacon. It's coming. And he's going to have to get rid of the ball and make some plays in the passing game, because they're going to gang up on the run. But Iowa's seen that all year, and so their timing on those middle zone blocking schemes has been much, much better. And when you got a guy with the heart of LeSean Williams, that should open up some things for Nico Reganey and Seth Anderson, and hopefully Caleb Brown is back completely healthy. Even if he's 85, 90%, that kid can really fly, and he's going to take coverage with him, so that'll help.
And all three of those guys have had big catches throughout the year, and even Deontay Vines. When all those guys are healthy, when they, when Deacon is needed to go to them, or Cade McNamara, they've made some big catches for big games. But Dolph, what a year it has been. Can't wait to look into the bowl season after this Big Ten championship game against Michigan on Saturday in Indianapolis, as you said. 10-2 Hawkeyes, a 7-2 in the Big Ten, as you said, a 2-game gap to win the Big Ten West. What a year it has been. So let's you and I take a brief pause, and when we come back, we'll close out talking about Fran McCaffrey's guys, the men's basketball team here at the University of Iowa. Folks, he is Gary Dolphin, longtime legendary voice of the Iowa Hawkeyes, 27 years now calling men's basketball and football here at the University of Iowa. If you're in Dubuque, or when you're in Dubuque, go to Gary Dolphin's Iron Bar. I was there, I told you this last summer.
Yes, you were.
Yes, what a great place that is, and just a chance to kick back, enjoy some good food and drink, and rest and relax. So go to Gary Dolphin's Iron Bar in downtown Dubuque, and you'll be glad you did. The old mill work area.
The old factory district, yeah. I mean, if you like, if you're a rabid Hawkeye fan, you'll like all the memorabilia hanging around, and we've got a great outdoor courtyard that'll seat a couple hundred people with a jumbo flat screen out there, big gigantic.
That's where I was. Even when it was warm, it's shaded, so it's very nice.
Yeah, on Hawkeye game day, it's packed out there in September, October, November. Great year, and who wouldn't want to watch this Iowa team, right?
Well stated. And what better place than Gary Dolphin's Iron Bar in Dubuque? So we'll be back with more to close out the show of Hawkeye. I'm Dave O'Hara. He's Gary Dolphin. Back with more in just a few moments. Welcome back to Hawkeye with me, Dave O'Hara, and Payton Sandfort and Pryce Sandfort. Double blessed today. Double the pleasure, double the fun. Could be double trouble, though. We're going to see. We got a little family feud. I'm kidding. So I'm going to just jump right into it. Who has the better shot? You knew that was coming first off. Is Pryce looks down and shakes, so I'm going to go to Pryce first. I'm going to let the older brother follow up. So this is to you, Pryce. Who's got the better? The Sandfort brothers shooting is the claim to fame. Who's got the better shot, Pryce?
Obviously, I'm always going to say myself. It doesn't look like it right now, I know, but my numbers in high school, I'm going to get it back, and I'm always going to say myself.
I love it. I love the confidence. Payton is actually biting, if we could hone in, biting his lower lip. So, all right, older brother, who's the better shooter?
I think it's me, and I think that's been proven over time. That's all I got, period. He's probably the second best shooter.
I love this because it's, we're in Iowa. It's caucus season. It's election time, though. Both guys made their campaign speech. I love it. Nothing more to say. That is great. We're just going to go down the list. Passing is very important, as you both know. Now, this time, we're going to let the young man think about it. Who's the better passer, older brother?
I think we're both really good passers, and that's something that we don't get a ton of credit for, but that's something that has been ingrained to us and is passing the ball, but me.
Okay, there you go. I like the honesty there. Me was the answer. Pryce, he gave us a little filibuster leading into that, so is Payton right? Is it him, or who's the better passer?
I think it's myself. I had a lot of experience in high school playing on the ball. Got to learn a lot of point guard skills, so passing came with that, so I think it's pretty obvious today.
I love it. You both have talked about how NIL has gotten you out in the business community. All the caucuses going on in Iowa. Here's guys right here could work for your campaign depending which side you go. I love the lobbying, you guys. This is fantastic. Okay, well, for offensive players, we covered offense. So now there is offensive rebounding. We're going to go to offense and then defense. I've kind of tipped my hand to you. So start with the younger guy again first with Pryce. Who's the better rebounder?
Honestly, I'll give this one to Payton. I'm going to give credit when credit is due. He's really worked on it, and I think he's proven over his Iowa career that he's got it. It's something I'm working on, and I'm not saying I'm a bad rebounder.
Sure.
It's something I'm going to keep working on, but he's really good at it. I'll give him that.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
You're not going. I'm not going to get in the way. Why? Why do you agree with that? Why have you? And to his point, you really haven't. You and I didn't talk much about that during your segments. That has really, and you've gotten, Big Ten Sixth Man of the Year award, but everybody's talking about you this year with rebounding and leading the team. Why?
Yeah, it's kind of just a mindset, and there is some skill to it, and this is a skill that Pryce has, this is a skill that I have, but we would just go in the gym and have our grandpa shoot, and we would just read where the ball's going off from different angles. So I'm not the most athletic guy in the world. He's not either. So we have to kind of have that advantage of knowing where the ball's going to be and knowing where it's going to go. And then from there, it's just kind of the willingness to go get it and get your hands dirty. And I've struggled with it a little bit over the last couple games, and I've been in there, but just haven't quite won them. So I got to get back to doing that consistently. But he's a pretty good rebounder too. I mean, he averaged over 10 in high school, which is not easy to do. So.
Yeah. I love that off camera we talked about Grandpa Bo, and I've mentioned him on camera too, and I like what you said. You're like, oh, Grandpa Bo will get on you. So you guys had to rebound. Oh, now we go to defense, because offensive players will say, yeah, it's me. All right, we're going to start with the senior here, the junior, but the senior brothers of the older brother of the Sandforts here. Who's the better defensive player?
You know, I am I'm getting a lot better. I think in high school I didn't really have to guard. I would just kind of get in the way and block shots, but you can't really do that at this level. And honestly, when I was a junior in high school, we would give our toughest assignment to Pryce, so I might have to give this one to him just because, in high school I didn't want to guard very much. I just wanted to shoot the ball and rebound. So it's something that I continue to work on every day and improve. And I've gotten, I think, substantially better since my freshman year here at Iowa. But he's more bench.
Well, again, you're in your junior year here at Iowa, but the senior brother to the two brothers, and you're a freshman. So, is he right, Pryce? Are you the better defender?
He is correct. Yes.
Why? Why would you say that?
Like he said, I starting with my freshman year in high school. Like he said, I'd get the hardest assignments, and it's always something I've kind of taken pride in. But this year, I still don't think I've been very good. I think I need to be a lot better, and it's a big jump. Guys are a lot quicker. I'm guarding a lot quicker wings than I did in high school. I guarded the big man in high school. I just sit in the middle of the paint and block people. So, just keep working on it. Coaches are working on it with me, but it's something I really think about and take pride in. So I'll get there.
Well, and I was going to get into and thank you both for your candor. I was going to get into who's the better brother and who's mom and dad's favorite. And I won't do that to you because we spent enough time with the head-to-head here. But talk to me then, as we talked during your show, both of your shows separately. What was it like to have your younger brother here? So you mentioned last year, hey, you're going to teach him things, you're going to bring him in. So, Pryce has said you're a good older brother, you're a trailblazer, you let him down the path being the older brother. But is it tougher sometimes bringing your younger brother in and being the trailblazer, or has it just been nothing but roses?
Well, obviously it hasn't been nothing but roses, but I think there's a lot of good and there's some bad that comes with it. But I would say the good definitely outweighs the bad. And I'm really
What's
glad
one
that he's here.
somewhat bad thing? I don't want to get negative, but if there was one tough thing, what would be the tough thing about being the older or having your younger brother here?
I would say maybe subbing him out. I don't like doing that very much. When Coach tells me to get Pryce, I'm like, oh, dang it. I wanted to play together. But,
okay.
Yeah, I think, I'd rather he stay on the floor with me, but, I also want to go in the game, so I'm not going to say no.
Self-preservation is always the key, Payton. Come on now. I like that. Okay, that's a fair answer. So I'm going to now turn it to you with your senior or your older brother, the senior Sandfort here, junior year, freshman year. Is it easier having a brother blazing a trail for you, or would you prefer maybe, hey, just you have your own identity and you be yourself? What do you prefer?
Well, obviously I chose to be here with him, so I prefer to play with him, but there's some negatives, I think, towards me, trying to live up to what he's done, and people comparing me to him and, asking if I'm going to be as good as him. It's tough, and it can wear on the mind a little bit. But like I said, just got to stay in your own mind and be who you are. But obviously having him as a leader for me coming in, learning a lot of new things, something that not everybody gets, very few get. So very thankful for that. And yeah.
So then we'll go off the basketball floor, knowing brothers as I do. I'm the youngest of 7 kids. I had 3 older brothers, 3 older sisters. A little bit of roughhousing going on here and there in the Sandfort house. So who's the tougher? Who's the better wrestler? Who's the better fighter? I'm going to start with the young man first, with Pryce.
Growing up, it was always me. I could take some big hits. He used to be a lot bigger than me, so I had to take some hits, but I always fought back and showed my toughness there.
Payton, is that true? You picked on your younger brother?
Yeah, I sent him to the hospital once, so I think that automatically qualifies me as
yes,
the better,
let's get into that story.
fighter.
How did you send him to the hospital?
I think I hit him so hard that he hit the corner and split his ear open.
We were having a pillow fight. A pillow fight.
Well, yeah, you sent your younger
I
brother
was
to the
like-
hospital
I
with
don't
a
remember-
pillow
I don't
fight.
remember the
What, did you have
details.
rocks in the pillowcase? What
I
happened
think I
here?
just had strong arms.
All right, Bryce, continue with the story. Yes, please.
Pillow fight. So, yeah, he just hit me pretty hard. I fell down. I tear my ear open on the table. So
That qualifies me for the better.
I'm not gonna. Well, I'm gonna watch myself around you, Peyton. I tell you.
didn't shed a tear though. That was the top.
Okay. So here we go.
Well,
Mark tape on that, Michael. Well, we got it done. He did not shed a tear. Folks, I want you to know the time that these two both gave to the programs the last couple of weeks, this program, the past two programs. I want to thank them both so much. Peyton, thank you so
Dave.
much.
Thank you.
Pryce, thank you very
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Both are very welcome. Payton Sandfort, Pryce Sandfort, junior shooting star here at Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball, freshman shooting star here at Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball. So for the brothered Sandfort, I'm Dave O'Hara with Hawkeye. Thanks again to my production partner, Michael Merrick, and of course, James Allen, SID for the Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball team. For all the aforementioned folks, that's all from us at Hawkeye. Thanks to all of you. And as always, thanks for staying tuned at the end of the program for these rolling credits to give our advertisers and sponsors the attention and credit they so richly deserve. And as always, to our aforementioned guests and to you, the viewers. That's all from us at Hawkeye. Thanks to all of you.